Hi everyone, it's Lauren from Crafty Hippie. Today we're going to be making a card made with the Sheltering Tree stamp set by Stampin Up. I saw this design a few years ago. It was made by Michelle Last, but I do believe that she got the idea from somebody else. I don't know who that person is, so I'm really sorry if you're watching this and it's your creation. Do let me know and I'll credit your name in the bottom of the comments. However, I'm going to be completely changing this design up and using some different colours, so it will look different by the time I've done it. Okay, so the Sheltering Tree stamp set is a photopolymer stamp set with 14 stamps, and it features this beautiful tree. As you can see, I've used it an awful lot. Oops. I'll also be using the Labeler Alphabet stamp set. I'm putting some words on my card, thanks for being you, and I've already done those onto acrylic blocks because they're a little bit fiddly. So we'll put those aside for in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to be using three very different colours to the ones in the original design. Here I think we've got like crushed curry and pumpkin pie, maybe a little bit of Calypso coral. It was a long time ago I made that. This time around I'm going to be using Early Espresso, Balmy Blue and Gorgeous Grape. So not traditional tree colours, but if you follow my blog you'll see and you'll know that I don't like to use conventional colours. I like to try things that look a little bit different. So I've already pre-cut my cardstock. I'm just going to bring my design back in so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to pop this piece of cardstock temporarily. I'm going to temporarily add a little bit of glue and stick it down. It's not staying there because it is going to be mounted on the Gorgeous Grape card. So I've just popped that down. I just wanted to have a little bit of grip so that it's straight. In fact, there's a little bit of a mark on my cardstock, so I'm just turning that over. And I'm just going to ink up the tree with Early Espresso. As you can see, this is one of the old ink pads and it's shaped a bit differently to the new ones. The new ones are a little bit more sort of streamlined and they've got these little dents so that they stack up neatly one on top of the other. But this is still a current colour. Many people out there that have got the two different types now. If you order from Stampin Up you will get one of the newer ones, but if you're wondering why my ink pads are different shapes and sizes, that's why. Okay, so we're going to stamp the tree, and the idea is we would like some of the branches to actually come over the small square. Stick that on a bit better. Oh, actually, that's the side with the mark of it. Oh, it's a little bit of glue, I think we can rub that off. Find my adhesive rubber. I'll find that in a minute. Okay, so I'm turning this sideways because I think it's going to be a little bit easier, and I'm just going to stamp that onto there. As you can see, some of the branches have just come off a little bit, which is perfect. What I might actually do is remove that and perhaps add a few extras just poking out from behind there. So that actually looks like a really, really long tree. It's not usually that long. And then that will just look like that. It will come over the edge once we frame that. Going to get a spare piece of paper just to stamp some of this ink off before I use my stamping scrub. That way the stamping scrub doesn't get dirty so quickly. I like to stamp a bit of the colour off. It's really helpful to have a piece of paper just put aside just for this purpose. So now when I clean my stamp, I'm not transferring as much of the ink onto the Stampin' Scrub, and then it won't get dirty so quickly. So the way the Stampin' Scrub works is you've got a wet side and a dry side, and you use the Stampin' Mist. It's got a lovely scent, and then you clean your stamp and then dry your stamp, and then you can remove these furry pads. I believe you can put them in the dishwasher. Don't quote me on that though, because I know that some dishwashers get really hot and they melt. Personally, I just clean them by hand in the sink and then put them somewhere to dry. And these are absolutely invaluable. The Stampin' Scrub, I highly recommend those. Okay, so I think as I've got the dark brown out, I'm going to do the sentiment while I'm here. So like I said before, it's thanks for being you, and you're probably going to see the top of my head at the moment, so apologies. Thanks for being. Might do the being again, actually. It's not very central, but it might just be the way I've put my stamps on. There we go. Thanks for being you. Now I have got a little line there from the edge of this stamp. However, I'm not going to worry about that because this font looks very much like an old typewriter, and I wouldn't expect it to be perfect. So I'm actually not going to use the second being, because although it was a bit higher up on the page, up on the cardstock, it is a bit closer to the U, and we are missing a little bit of the ink there. So I think I'm going to go with the first one. And I'm going to chop those up so that they're individual words. Next I'm going to do the leaves of the tree. My stamp needs a bit of a thorough wash. It's losing its cling, which means I have used it an awful lot. So we've got some gorgeous grapes, some balmy blue, and I'm wondering whether to just put a third colour in, just to give some extra interest. Just thinking what colour would go with those. Oh, I'm wondering whether to put some Mango Melody in with that. It's a completely different colour. It's like a bright orangey yellow. Or I might go for Flirty Flamingo. Let's go with Flirty Flamingo. That's a really, really lovely colour. Gorgeous grape. finally the balmy blue. I think that looks really nice. So now I just need to layer my card up, put it all together. This is the bit I find difficult. My wonky iron hands. Now in the original there's actually a little bit of grass there. I don't think I'm actually going to do that this time, and I don't think I'm going to put the sentiment at the bottom entirely. I think I'm going to move it up a little bit, so it will look ever so slightly different, this card. I'm going to pop that up on some foam pads. I'll Stampin' Dimensionals. And obviously I could move this up and down to make the tree a lot longer, or I could just sort of go in the middle at the top. I think I'm going to move it down a little bit just to give it some extra height. I think that's slightly wonky. Let's have a look. Yeah, not too bad. And then I just need to work out what I'm doing with the sentiment. I could just snip this with scissors, however I'm an absolute neat freak, so I'm going to do it with the trimmer. It's just under my desk. So I've just printed this on some strips of balmy blue cardstock. I did the strips so that they're all ready, because they're quite fiddly to cut and get the right width and length. Thanks for being you. I am actually going to go with the second being that I did. Because it is more central, and yeah, just as I was saying before, that I did get a little smudge there, but it doesn't actually matter because of the font. It's like a typewriter. And I just need to work out now where to put my words. I think we might start with the thanks there. The good thing about this is you can lay them down until you've decided what you're doing with them. Thanks for being you. I think we're going to do it like that. I think that looks lovely. I just need to decide now whether I'm going to prop them up or not. I think I'm going to put these two on Stampin' Dimensionals to begin with, and then go for there. And I'm wondering whether to sort of put them at a slight angle. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. That looks really nice. Ooh. Now these are mini Stampin' Dimensionals. These are the little tiny ones that we sell. So if we just look at the difference quickly, these are the regular size Stampin' Dimensionals and these are the mini ones. So as you can see, they're quite a bit smaller. They're good for all the little fiddly projects. I'm just using some tweezers to pick them up because my hands aren't working very well today. Now, do I prop these up or not? Or do I just stick those? What do we think? I think we have to stick them on some pads. I think it's going to look silly otherwise. Oops. And I'm wondering if it needs a little bit of bling. There wasn't any on the original card. Well, actually there was a little silver glimmer heart, which was quite nice. I think maybe I might just put a couple of metallic pearls on. What do we reckon, gold or silver? Oops. I think we should go for silver. Just need to work out where to pop them. I'm going to put one there. On there, and oops, try and get it to turn around. I think one there. Yeah, I think that is perfect. Actually, let's put a little one down at the bottom as well, by the sentiment. Thanks for being you. So just to recap then, the colours that we used were Gorgeous Grape, Balmy Blue, Early Espresso, oops, I'm struggling with these pearls, let's put those to one side, Flirty Flamingo, and I used some Balmy Blue cardstock, some Gorgeous Grape cardstock, and we use the Labeler Alphabet stamp set and the Sheltering Trees stamp set, and some metallic pearls. And there we have a beautiful card for a friend. Thanks for being you. Thanks for watching today.